Hi everybody, this is FreakyBot9 here with another video bringing you the Ferocious Cup recap. This is our first match against Riz Prime. So we're starting off as Ninetales with that charm against that Nidoqueen, and obviously Nidoqueen is one of the biggest counters to Ninetales. Definitely wanted to probably shield that one, but I decided to switch out anyways, and that could have cost me there. And then I swap into Babero, and he swaps right into Umbreon, which I go for the mirror. We're gonna go mirror versus mirror Umbreon. This is definitely also another kind of like very tedious mirror matchup. So we're doing our last resort versus last resort here. Sorry for the messages there too as well. I should have realized to kind of turn off notifications when I'm doing these battles. But yeah, so we're gonna just continue doing last resort versus last resort right there. And this is one of like the most boring kind of mirror matches possible. But yeah, so we're gonna keep doing last resorts on each other. We're gonna go all the way down, farm up a little extra energy there. I think he farmed up quite a bit more, so we'll see how this goes here. Going for that last resort now. I'm going straight for another last resort here down as well. And we both have 2 shields, so it's only a matter of when we're gonna do our shields now. But now we're in the range of being in place for doing our foul play. I was going to try to switch out, but I realized how low he was, so I decided to go for a foul play, try to switch, and he gets his foul play off, so I do my shield as well. Here I decided to switch because I know that's going to be happening, and he's a little bit slow on the switch, but he switched out with that low HP to the Skunk Tank, and I'm going with Barrow, just letting my Surfs. Forces another shield from him, and here I'm going to go for a Hyper Fang because he has no more shields. I don't know scenario if I should have done 2 Surfs instead or maybe just farm up, but obviously we were still able to catch that one there. And I need to keep this Babero in the back healthy just because I know that Nidoqueen's coming out. So here he comes. He's going to swap out into his Umbreon, which no HP, wasn't able to get off that charge move unfortunately. And I was able to land the last Surf on him. So we had started off with a bad lead and we ended up with quite the win there. So we're on to round 2. Starting off round 2 against Riz Prime, I'm going to lead into Nidoqueen, he's going to lead into Ninetales. So now I'm in a prime advantage in this matchup. He switches to Babero and I swap to Umbreon. In this matchup, I'm looking to just soak as much damage from the Babero as possible, knowing that I can take quite a few charge moves with that. And I wanted to preserve that lead advantage over his Ninetales with my Nidoqueen. So I go for the foul plays here and just doing tons of damage to this Babero. Not going to be able to KO here, but he does force his shield there. So now he's building up quite a bit of energy, and he's going to be doing a charge move. He's either gonna try to bait for Surf or do the Hyper Fang, and if he did the Hyper Fang and landed it, would have done a lot of damage to me. So luckily I did shield that one. Go for a foul play here, and he doesn't shield, so it costs his Pokemon, so I swap right back out into Nidoqueen after he brings in the Ninetales. The switch timer just came up. Go for the Earth Power on the Ninetales, and he doesn't shield, and then he doesn't get the charge move off. Now he's going to Skunk Tank here, and I just land the Earth Power, and he still has his shield up, but I think at this point he decides to just let it go and just move on to the next round. So we're on to round 3. Second round, facing off against Apens. He's bringing in that Skunk Tank, Umbreon, Sandslash, Ninetales, Minun, and Babero. And I'm still running that same team of Sandslash, Nidoqueen, Skunk Tank, Umbreon, Lone Ninetales, and Babero. And here he is, round 1. We're leading Ninetales into Babero here. And I'm just going to go for the straight charms. He's going to have to go for Surf right here. I'm not going to shield this. I know I can tank it, and I know I can get to that final Side Shock right before I die. This is one of those advantages of just being able to play those matchups, just knowing how much damage you can take. Force the shield there. It was Babero super low, and I know he has enough charge move for something else, so I have to bring Sandslash here because my Nidoqueen's just going to get eviscerated. Same as Sandslash, but it's not as bad. So I just block the Surf there, farm down the Babero with Sandslash. Have enough for a Powder Slow, and waiting to see what he brings in next. Brings in the Skunk Tank, so I have a lot of energy stored up, so I'm gonna try to do the Ice Punch here, and he calls the bluff. If I had done Bulldoze right there, I would have knocked him out. And he's gonna go for a charge move here. I'm hoping it wasn't going to be a flamethrower. It turned to be Crunch, which is on topic. On point there. Then I go for a Bulldoze, and I know he's going to probably shield this one, but I have to play that, but he doesn't shield. So, and then he goes into Sand Slash, and I go for an Ice Punch here, knowing that he has to shield this one now. Then he's farmed us with a lot of energy. Here I come, bringing in that Nidoqueen, and he has quite the advantage right now because he has enough to do either Return or Earthquake. Go for the shield, he does the Return, calls the bluff, and before I can even get to my Earth Power, throws out that Earthquake and knocks me out. So that was round 1. And we're on to the next round afterwards. Round 2 versus 8 Pens. That Sand Slash did cause me a little bit of trouble back there, so I'm leading with Nidoqueen. His only counter would have been Bibarel or that Sand Slash in terms of shield baiting. Umbreon can too. Skunk can be a little bit tricky, so we see how this goes. Gonna go for that Crunch there. Gonna go off with Earth Power now, so it's gonna have to force this shield, or he's going to just let it die, which he does. Lets it die, goes into Umbreon, and I'm just gonna go straight to Earth Power here. We get a CMP tie. I'm gonna land Earth Power here. He does shield it, but I saw the defense drop, and he's just gonna go for it. And I realized I have enough energy. I could probably just go for another Earth Power here. But then in my head afterwards, I was like, I don't think I should have shielded that. And let me know if I think I should have shielded that or not. I'm pretty sure I should not have shielded that. But we're going into Umbreon versus Umbreon here, which is another one of those painful mirror matchups. Just doing Last Resort after Last Resort to each other. Building up a ton of energy just so I know I can fire off 2 Last Resorts. I was trying to piggyback off it, but obviously it didn't work out so well. So was able to get off 2 Last Resorts here. And now he's in range for Foul Play. So he's going to go for Last Resort here too. I'm not too worried. Don't need to shield these at all. What's coming out. This is going to be another Last Resort right here. So I don't need to shield. And I am going to go for Foul Play here. Or just farm him down. That was super risky. He was pretty much on the cusp of like getting another one. So here comes the Foul Plays. I have a ton of energy built up on my Umbreon. Gonna have to force some shields. Gonna go for another Foul Play right after that because I farmed that Umbreon down so much. And go swap right into Bibarel, so I have no energy discrepancies. A little bit of lag there, but in the end, it doesn't matter. Still have the shield for even if it was Turn or Earthquake. And these Water Guns are just destroying the Sand Slash. Gonna finish off with the Surf, and that's my victory. We are now 1-1, and now we're going to round 3. Round 3 versus Apens is for the match here. Going to see what we can lead off against this team. Very tricky. We decided to lead off with that neutral Skunk Tank. He goes with Bibarel. And in this matchup, he's definitely going to be able to get to that charge move way before I do. And I don't know if it was going to be a Hyper Fang or a Surf. Thinking it was Hyper Fang. Shielded. He did the Surf, which was pretty good on his part. Go for a Crunch. And let's see if this goes through. Oh, it goes through. So now he's going to be trying to farm down for another charge move. But I just farmed down his energy. And then he brings out his Skunk Tank. So I'm just going to go for the mirror. Just do enough crunches. Skunk Tank did a lot of work already. So I'm just going to let it go. Does manage to get to another crunch, so he definitely has enough for his own crunch. He just chose not to use the charge move, just trying to feint me down. But I will have enough to get to another one, but he uses the charge move on me, which is, I think, a win. Skunk Tank did amazing work right there, taking out 1.5 Pokemon with only 1 shield. And now I bring in my Umbreon. Just because that Skunk Tank has so much energy built up, he could have got a Sludge Bomb on to my Ninetales, which would have been bad. So he does a Sludge Bomb on Umbreon, managed to tank it, go for a Foul Play to knock out his Pokemon here, and he does have Sand Slash in the back. So see how this one plays out. We're definitely just going to go for straight Foul Plays here. Going to have to burn those shields. Sand Slash is quite fast with charging up his charge moves, but pretty squishy, especially against Umbreon. This scenario, he's going to either do Return or Earthquake, and I'm not quite concerned with either. He does go with the return, so I know that this next move right here is a nether return. I know I can tank both of them. Go for another foul play. This is going to force his last shield. Now that I know he's out of energy, I swap right into Ninetales just to be able to charm him down. And I still have that shield in the back, so I can just shield this one. If it was going to be Earthquake or Return, I'll be okay. And I still think, even if that turned out to be Earthquake, it wouldn't have mattered too much just because of that extra shield. So that was round two. Now we're going to move on to round 3. Alright, round 3, we're placing off against Sensationalists. And we're going to lead into that Sand Slash, and he's going to bring out that Skunk Tank. Definitely in this matchup, gonna try to have to go for that Bulldoze, but he swaps into Umbreon. I farm a little bit of energy and bring out the Ninetales. And that was a little bit of a late switch, which I think cost me that, because he does manage to get a Last Resort here. Dan is able to get to another Last Resort. And I am gonna not be able to just safely farm him down. Go for another Side Shock here, or be greedy and try to just farm him down. But because of the late switch, I was not able to. He shield based me with the foul play, which I think I still would have died even if I didn't foul play there. Instantly brings up the barrel. I have to fire off my charge move, Side Shock, force his shield. Do a little bit of damage on the barrel, get knocked out, and obviously don't want to bring in Sand Slash there, so I have to bring out Umbreon here. He's gonna either go for a Surf or Hyper Fang here. I'm not too concerned with either one. Umbreon can tank kind of both at this point. Just gonna farm a little bit of energy and go for that foul play, so I am in the hopes of trying to get 2 foul plays off in a row. That was 1 turn off, but I still managed to get another foul play off before he was able to get his charge move in between. Managed to knock out his barrel with 1 more fast move after that. Then he brings in his Skunk Tank. And in this matchup, he has a lot of energy still built up, so he's going to fire up that Sludge Bomb on me, and I'm just going to have to go for that Last Resort here. Doesn't shield, he's saving it for the back for that Sand Slash. So I have to go for Bulldoze, and he's either going to know it's a shield bait or knock him out. And he does shield, so I'm not able to get to that next charge move in time. I'm going to have to shield here and hopefully try to get to that Bulldoze before he can get to another charge move. And I do manage to get to the other Bulldoze, and that was the victory for me right there. And that is round 1 of round 3, so we're moving on to the next match right after this. Hello, this is battle number 3. Battle 2, I kind of lost the footage. It came a little bit corrupted, so I was not able to get that footage properly. But he did win that match, so we're on to 1-1 in this cup right now. And I lead against Ninetales, and he brings out Skunk Tank. Definitely going to just try to do as much damage as possible. Those poison jabs are really hurting me. This is going to be a Sludge Bomb or a Crunch, and I decided to shield. And so I decided to expend my energy to try to knock out the Skunk Tank or force his shield, so that way he wouldn't be able to get to another charge move. Does knock out the Skunk Tank. And then waiting for his next Pokemon to bring in. He does bring in that barrel, and I should have swapped out. But then I bring in my Skunk Tank, and his barrel has a bunch of energy built up. Going to hit me with that charge move. He does hit me with Surf, and it's able to get to another Surf before I'm able to fire off my Crunch. So I have to shield this guy right here. So I get off my Crunch on his barrel, and he decides to shield it. Just trying to farm me down, swaps into the Ninetales. I bring out my Nidoqueen, and now if I had a shield, it would have been perfectly fine. But because I don't have that shield, and he still has a shield, he's going to be able to knock out my Nidoqueen with the Side Shock that's going to be coming right here. Knocking out my Nidoqueen here, and then we have to bring out my other Pokemon in the back, which is super low energy, and he does manage to take that game, so he is victorious in that battle. This is the final match of our tournament. We're playing against Undeed here. Definitely a tough opponent, and we led with Bibarel versus Bibarel here. So in this matchup, we both know what kind of energy we're gaining into, and we're just going to farm down an extra amount. We definitely have enough for a Surf and a Hyper Fang. So he fires off the Hyper or Surf, and I do my Hyper Fang. I chose not to shield, and he decides not to shield too, but that Hyper Fang does a lot of damage. He's gonna go for another charge move here, going for that Surf or Hyper Fang, and I'm okay to let either go. And he decides to do Surf, and then I decide to fire off my Surf here, knowing that either I force his shield or he loses mana. I chose not to do any charge move there, just because I know that I try to save enough energy for what comes in next, but the health was too low. Now he brings in Sand Slash. I'm gonna bring in Umbreon. Just gonna go for foul play after foul play here. He is up one fast move on me though, so I don't know that this stems off the top of my head if that works out better in his favor or not. Goes for the Ice Punch here. I go for foul play after charging up an extra turn. Forces his shield. He's gonna go through as well. He's trying to build enough energy. I do try to hit that foul play, but we hit CMP tie. Going for another Ice Punch. Gonna go for a foul play here of myself. So either he's gonna have to do another shield or just let it go. Chooses to let it go. Do one more move to finish him off. Brings in his Piloswine in the end. And so I go for another foul play, and this is either gonna do a lot of damage or he's gonna have to force his shield. Takes about a quarter. Swap into Ninetales. He hits me with the charge move. I have 2 shields left and might as well do the charge. And then Ninetales just does all that work with that charm. Doesn't matter what he throw out here. I still have the shield. He has a shield, but this doesn't matter. Just farm down with charms, and that's it for round or battle 1 of round 4. And on to the next one. Battle number 2 of round 4. His Piloswine was definitely quite interesting picked, and I was definitely not have many experiences of playing against Piloswine in the Ferocious Cup. So to showcase that he's came quite a long way to challenge me in the final round was quite impressive. He leads into me with Suicune, and I lead with Skuntank. So basically now we're just going to try to farm down and figure out what he's going to be doing. I know this is going to be a Bubble Beam, so there's no reason to shield here. Lowers my attack, but I still managed to get off that crunch. He's definitely going to try to fill him up for another charge move here. And meanwhile, I'm just going to go for straight crunches in this matchup. Managed to get another crunch before he managed to get another Bubble Beam off. So he's farming enough energy to try to knock me down without it. Goes for the charge move, and I'm anticipating this is probably going to be a Hydro Pump, but even if it was, Skuntank did a lot of work. Swap into Ninetales just to farm him down. Here comes his charge move. Bait it out and assume it's going to be a Bubble Beam, and it was. Does lower my attack a bit, which does hurt on the charm user of Ninetales. So now I'll bring out this matchup here. I do have quite a bit of energy lead up, but my attacks aren't doing as much damage as possible because of that Bibarel is just not having any of it right now. Does the Surf, I don't shield. I do the Side Shock, he doesn't shield, and we're just going to go down with those quick moves. I'm gonna bring in now Umbreon with 2 shields. He does have that Bibarel. He's gonna just fire off that charge move. In my head, I was trying to conserve as much energy as possible and much health as possible. Farm down the Bibarel as much as possible here. Go for a low energy foul play on Bibarel to knock him out, and have all the energy built up for the last Pokemon here. So Umbreon versus Umbreon. I am down a little bit of HP, and we both have 1 shield. So this is quite an interesting matchup. This is going to be Last Resort versus Last Resort, and basically there's a certain point when they hit a certain amount of HP where you can just go safely for foul play instead of doing the Last Resort to knock them out. As you can tell, I am behind on HP, but I am a little bit ahead in energy. So he does manage to get their Last Resort off of me. I don't shield. He goes for I go for Last Resort. He doesn't shield. So now we're literally down to the haywire here. He's gonna fire off his charge move. I'm gonna shield it. Shield at Last Resort. Gonna go for the foul play and do low power for that. So I still managed to retain my energy. So I'm able to get to that last resort there. And that was quite the exhilarating play that we kind of did on both parts. We were just very shocked after that moment. So that was very happy how I managed to pull that one back, just barely. So now we're going to be moving on to battle number 3. Battle number 3 of round 4. We are leading with Ninetales versus Bibarel. Gonna go for those charms against that Bibarel here, and he's gonna just try to farm me down, getting off that surf because I know that's what's gonna be happening, so I don't need the shield here. Gonna go all the way, force his shield with the side shock or knock him out. And he decides to shield, and I go down, and I was contemplating here on what to bring in next. Bring in the Sand Slash or bring in the Umbreon. Obviously gonna bring in the Umbreon though, just because I know that he has enough energy to fire off surfs, and my ice punches aren't gonna do enough damage to Bibarel. Figures off the Hyper Fang off to me. I do farm a little bit more, then I go for the foul play. Try not to do any bubbles so I can conserve my energy for the next mon that comes out. Brings out his next Pokemon, get a little bit of weak connection, but obviously didn't impact our battle that much. He did lose one fat charge move off that, or quick move off that, but was able to get to foul play off here, and he's gonna be able to get to his charge move here, expecting a bubble beam, call correctly, and he does bubble beam down here. So then I go for the bubbles here and try to do foul plays, try to do as much damage as possible, but that attack debuff did hurt me a little bit. Managed to get to another one before his next charge move, and he decides to shield this. And in hindsight, I probably should have shielded this. Even if it was a bubble beam bait, Hydro Pump just killed me. Then I'm left with Sand Slash against Suicune. He does his charge move off of me, force my shield, and it's a bubble beam, which lowers my attack. So I go for the Bulldoze here to finish off that Suicune because the Ice Punch wasn't going to be able to because it's resisted. And I have an attack debuff with one shield Sand Slash versus Umbreon at full HP. He fires off his charge move. I decide to shield it, and I went for a really bad play here. Went for a Bulldoze. Not quite sure that should have been the right move. It does mediocre damage, but it's already over at this point. Even with that shield advantage, the misplays I kind of did that game kind of cost me. And so I ended up trying to do the Ice Punches here, and obviously he's not quite doing so well, and he's able to knock me out with that next foul play. So that was round 4, and we ended this cup with 3-1. Definitely was able to try to take it back, but that was it for our game. So hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching this video, and I hope to see you in the next cup for Timeless. Bye bye.